we can position the baler over. Seems to me that it's the pickup that slows us down, so that's predominantly the way I'm going to do this, is to raise the pickup when we're dancing between rows. It looks like another bit over there. And now we're at this end. I didn't notice how much was in the baler at the start of this end piece, so oh, look at that. Don't turn it. Oh man, I messed up. Gosh, since we now own this, might as well make use of it. It's one of the things, I mowed in the contract before I bought this field. I actually took the contract before I realised it was this field that I'd taken the contract on. But that grass is now mine. So, consequently, I'm going to take it. I mean, obviously I didn't have to. I could have come back later when we cut that field. And of course, with Giants seasons, grass doesn't rot, which it did in Farm Sim 19 with Realismus's seasons. So this stuff, even if we don't collect it now, it's going to be there next year, or next time we cut. Go to there. So we got a quarter of a bale out of this, so not exactly a bad deal. Grab this. And I did notice a little bit here. And I think when I did the contract, I couldn't actually collect this because it was outside of the bounds of the field, as far as the contract was concerned, but inside the bounds of the field, as far as ownership is concerned. Okay, 30% of the bale. I'm not going to complain about that. I'm going to take the baler up back into the shed. I'll leave the Massey out on the field for now. And we will grab some spikes and feed the bale monster. Okay. See if I can judge this right this time. Yes. That looks a lot better. Also, I think getting the rake into the shed with the Massey is probably going to work out a bit easier because it's a shorter wheelbase. It's a little bit more agile getting between the posts. Yeah, okay. No worries, Moo. Hello and welcome to the stream. Fortunately, Long Hauler's not watching, so he won't see me messing up this entire reversing manoeuvre, because I have. Good enough. I've dropped that. Okay, spike on the front, spike on the back. I think I dropped the Massey's arms in the wrong place. Just a thought. What have I? Oh no, actually, you know what I did do? This is going to be a little bit awkward, but I dropped the Massey's arms right where the bale spike is. So I'm going to put these right there. Because they really don't fit this tractor at all. Alright, let's grab the spike. Yes. We'll get the tail spike too. And so the back one's a lizard bale spike, and what we do is angle it up very slightly, and I think I have to select the front bale spike to work with the loader arms. And okay. I have to select the loader arms to operate everything at the front. And then to operate the rear spike, all I have to do is use exactly the same thing as raising and lowering equipment. You'll see that in a second. So if I press lower, oh no, there we go. So that lowers the spike, and then all I have to do is stab the bale appropriately and lift it up, and that bale will now come with us. And it takes a little bit longer driving, I guess, but it does not take as much frustration trying to get two bales on the all-but fork. Plus you need a weight on the back for that. This is effectively self-balancing because I've now got a weight on the back in the form of a bale. And might help if I put the camera where I can see things. And then we just drop that there. At least we try. Now sometimes the detection on the Anderson will just make the bale magically drop in place. And all I do is I reverse over here, lower the spike and go drive. Raise the forks back into driving position, or the spike back into driving position. So I'm bringing 2 bales in at a time, but I'm only putting 1 in the wrapper. And then what I'll do is I'll get the telly truck with its spike to load all the bales I'm just depositing in the yard. Okay, yeah. I can operate the front loader arms with the rear spike selected. That's a little bit off, just a bit. But it's really the front one I'm most concerned with, because that's the one we're using to load the wrapper. So a lot of driving, but not a lot of, you know, precision front loader work. So I think I get this job done, this method, a lot quicker than I would stacking a trailer. Now, at the point we get a bale stacker, it'll probably be quicker. No, that was bad. There we go. Now I have to reposition the angle. Yeah, I selected drop the bale spike rather than lower the bale spike. Yeah, now once we get a bale stacker, we can just run around the field, grab all the bales, deposit them in the yard, and then use a loader to load the extractor with, and that'll be a lot quicker. Plus the bale stacker will take 24 bales or 24 round bales, where our bale trailer only takes 18, and 15 minutes to load at a time. Okay, lower the spike, back it in, raise the spike and drive. I keep mentioning it, but I have seen a couple of farmers bring bales in off the field not quite precisely this way. They didn't have loader arms at the front, they had spikes on the front and back. But similar idea, you're just moving 2 bales at a time, and they had 2 small tractors. And over the arms. Try forward. Yeah, that works. Now I am missing the quick look. I think it's the quick look mod. It doesn't work quite the same as it did in 19. But in 19 I was able to map the button I have for gear selection with the quick look. So when I push reverse gear, it would shift view to, you know, straight backwards like that. Spike that, lift that up, and then pressing drive forward would position the camera view to directly forward. And the quick look mod in 22 doesn't perform that way. So it has the ability to position the view at 45-degree increments, but it doesn't have a snap to, or at least last time I looked, it didn't have a snap to forward, snap to reverse. which just made life all sorts of simple in 19. Okay, that's 8 bales in. How many do we have to bring in? Anyone count? 28. Actually, that's not too bad. We've got everything up here. Okay. I guess you're the next one. There was a mod in 19 that told you the angle and height of your loader arms. I did try it out. I didn't find it easy to use, but that could help with, because depth of field on this is a struggle, at least for me. And I know I'm not the only virtual farmer that has an issue with trying to stab things and missing completely. Anyway, we'll get all these in. Kind of guessing this is a job I could do with the Massey. Although I would probably have to spike the rear bale before I tried to pick up on the front. But it's not a job you can do with the workers, so. This tractor's 68 hours on it. Now I am running the maintenance and paint lower, or you can adjust how frequently tractors need to be maintained and how cheap they are to maintain, but maintenance costs in 22, well, they're probably similar to maintenance costs in 19. The thing was that with Realismus's seasons, it tended to make maintenance cheaper because it was more based on the number of hours of work you did in a year as opposed to the number of hours of work you do in a day. So, a tractor of this age in base game, you're probably maintaining it every day at £9,000 per maintenance. Back in 19, you were probably maintaining it once or twice a year, depending on how many jobs you did with it. But then you were doing, I was running 3-day seasons, and a tractor being used this much with this many hours was a fairly short. Do I still have an on one? Yes, I do. You were putting 20 hours on it. In one calendar month, in one game month. So I think I saw a bale in there. Yep, I did. I tore and put it out. So they still roll away sometimes, but not quite as seriously they did in 19. To be honest, I don't know how long that bale's been there. Might have been this run. I guess we'll know by how many. We're expecting 28 bales. So if I end up with 29, I know that one I just picked up wasn't made this run. I suppose with 28 bales, what I can do is all these bales I'm dropping behind me now will move the extractor to a second row, so we end up with 14 bales in each snake, and thus one load for our bale trailer per row. Okay, I'm going to break left and grab them from this side. Stab. And those are at different angles. Coming up to midday, so we have all the jobs done. Well, all our jobs done. Or mostly done. Obviously, we've got another 14 bales to wrap once we've pulled the last off the field. Keep it down. There we go. And so I use the tractor to load the baler or the wrapper now, because it's just the quickest piece of machinery I have. But when we come to manoeuvring, so we can pick up those bales in the yard to wrap, I switch to using the tele-truck because it's a little bit more agile and we're having to turn around to get the wrapper loaded. Game time 9:55. I wonder if the robot's going to do any roboting. Probably shouldn't drag that along the ground. I should try and be a little bit more realistic in that manner. Oh, well, and that's your depth of field. Back up to the bale, lower it, stab it, lift it. There we go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I already brought in 22. So the bale in the tree was from this production run. This over here, lower it, try forward, lift the spike up so it doesn't drag on the floor. There, a little bit more realism for us. And lower, stab, lift. Okay, 2 more trips to do. Potential that the robot will go active next time we come through here.